What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Edgework on the Hammer Betting Network. We're here previewing Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals between the Florida Panthers and the Florida Panthers and the Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, the Golden Knights really have showed their dominance over the first two games, winning last game, Game 2, 7-2. And right now, the series price is kind of reflecting that. We got plus 426 for the Florida Panthers and minus 530 for the Vegas Golden Knights, and those odds are brought to you by Pinnacle Sports. Pinnacle is the world's sharpest sportsbook and available to bettors in Ontario. Find out what professional bettors have known for decades. Pinnacle is where the best bettors play. Must be 19 plus in Ontario. Please play responsibly and not available in the U.S. Guys, if you want to sign up for Pinnacle, make sure you click that link in the description or scan the barcode in the bottom left corner of the screen. So Money, how's it going, man? Bringing you on today. It's just us two. But I mean, we're going to be covering the game for Game 3, and I think it's been a crazy series so far. So just give me your general thoughts on, I guess, Game 2 and I guess the series in general. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I'm good. Looking forward to going flying here with just you and me here. But yeah, I think that Vegas is starting to basically do anything that they want in this series in terms of whether they want to generate off the rush, whether they want to kind of crash the net, and we're seeing traffic in front of Bobrovsky. And right now, Florida does not have any answer for that, especially when Vegas is going there is getting their transition game going. So it's tough sledding for Florida right now. I'm not sure what adjustments they can make. In Game 3, obviously we'll get a much better effort from them. I thought they were fine for the most part in Game 1. Game 2 slipped away from them, but you also have to give Vegas a lot of credit. I think that they've peaked at the right time right now, and they're really doing everything that they need to do in terms of this matchup to give Florida a lot of problems.
Yeah, absolutely. And I find that Vegas's physical play, just being able to play through those checks, has led to them being on the right side of the whistle, I guess is the best way to put it. Because it seems like we haven't really seen Florida get as many calls against them throughout the playoffs. And as the trend as the playoffs go on is that less and less calls are being made. But this the Stanley Cup Finals is kind of the opposite, especially in Game 2. And that kind of put Florida behind the 8 ball for that game. So before we get into Game 3, so Money, just quickly your thoughts on Game 2 and how it differed from Game 1, because Game 1 was kind of a lot closer. It was 2-2 going into the third, I believe, and Vegas came out with it. But this game was just, I mean, completely Vegas off the hop. So what were your main differences you saw between Game 2 and Game 1?
Yeah, Paul Maurice touched on this after Game 2, where he said that just his team just didn't have it to start the game. And I mean, it's really tough to use that as an excuse in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. But I mean, Vegas just jumped on them early, and they had their game plan. They knew that that they wanted to crash the net, and that's all that it came down to. So I thought that Vegas they took control of Game 2. Florida wants to be physical. The problem is that Vegas can give it right back, and they can do it in a more disciplined fashion than the Panthers. So Florida needs to keep playing physical. That's their game, but they're also losing their head a lot of times here too.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things that I've noticed, like just previewing the series, both teams, like you said this, I believe, on the preview show here on the Edgework YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out, you should go back and take a look at it, because there was a lot of good nuggets you guys dropped there in that. But both teams really like to forecheck, and I think the biggest edge right now for Vegas is their ability to handle the forecheck with their core, right? Or sorry, with their defensive core. I don't think Florida has played. I think other than Boston, this is probably the best defensive core that they've played against. I think that's fair to say. And yeah, it's shown that Vegas is able to kind of handle that forecheck, and like you said, move that puck in transition and get some good plays out of it. So moving on from there, I guess I don't want to say the biggest story of the night, but what a very big story on Twitter, or a big moment on Twitter, was the Eichel hit from Tkachuk. A lot of people were wondering if it was clean or not. I personally am the type of person who tends to lean towards when I see those hits, a lot of the times I think they're more suspension worthy than not. relative to the general public. But that hit in particular from Tkachuk, I thought that was fully clean. Looked like Eichel toe picked and just fell at the maybe the worst time possible. And I mean, I don't really know what Tkachuk was able to do there other than finish his check. So just want to hear your general thoughts on that hit and if it was worth a misconduct.
Yeah, I think you hate to see the results sometimes with those kind of hits. I'm glad that Eichel's okay. But I thought it was clean, right? Like I don't even think Kachuk charged. I don't think that he left his feet. He kept his elbows down, and Eichel was, and he mentioned it after the game as well, right? Like he was looking down at the puck. I don't think he saw Kachuk coming, and I mean it's a clean hit. He got laid out. It sucks, especially if Eichel got hurt, but I don't think that Kachuk did anything wrong there.
Yeah, I think it was just more of an emotional call from the referees. When you see a player react like that, you don't really know how hurt he is. And Eichel said afterwards he was just winded there, and that's like a fair reaction to have, right? You got rocked, but yeah, unfortunate for the Florida Panthers, but of course it won't affect them for the next game. But yeah, moving on from there. I have a question for you about the goalies. Maurice kind of hinted at maybe Bobrovsky being pulled. I think we both called cap on that, as the kids would say, and like gave it a 99.9% chance that he'd be back in. He's confirmed now, game 3 starter. But just wondering the difference between Bobrovsky and how a goalie change to start the game might affect your price on the game. Like the difference between essentially Bobrovsky and Lyon for you.
Yeah, so I still have Bobrovsky rated higher. I think that if they were go to Lyon, I would have to downgrade Florida significantly, especially because Lyon hasn't played in a long time, and also because just even when Lyon was in the net and he was playing well, I mean, like the sample size is so small that I can't just have him take over Bobrovsky, right? So like even through that time when he was playing and he was playing well, I still had Bobrovsky rated higher. Now it's not like Lyon came into that game and he like shut the door and he was outstanding. No, like he was. I didn't think he played well either, right? So, I as we mentioned, I think that Bob does get the start here, but if for whatever reason things go haywire and we see Lyon in net, like I would downgrade Florida significantly.
Okay, fair enough. And the price right now on the game is -116, Florida +106 for the Vegas Golden Knight Florida Panthers, obviously at home for this game and the next game. About to bring up the BetStamp odds board, but before I do, I want to let everyone know just simply the easiest way to improve as a sports bettor is to use multiple sports books and always get the best odds on the game. We recommend using an odds comparison tool like we're using right here, BetStamp. BetStamp compares odds, as you can see, across every sports book for games, futures, player props, and more. Save time and money by checking BetStamp before you bet. Download the app today. And if you're looking to open more books, guys, there's a link in the chat or a link in the description. Please consider using our link if you're going to open up more sportsbook. It really helps the show. And if you're going to do it anyways, you might as well use our link, right, guys? Help support us. So, yeah, looking at the series right now, again, -116 for Florida, +106 for Vegas as the best price on the board. Anything you like here off the hop for the full game line here? So money.
So not at the current number. So Pinnacle closed Vegas at a VIG-free 56% in for game 2, which I thought was fair considering the way that game 1, how close that was and how that game played. After game 2, I mean, it's clear that Vegas is able to generate whatever they want against the Panthers, specifically around the crease. And of course they have better finish than what Florida has seen in their previous series. But now we flip home ice, and we have to add a premium on Florida since they are the home team down 0-2, right? So so they have all those narratives with them. So there must be a premium added to Florida now. I thought the Vegas where they opened in this game at +110 or so, I thought that held value, but now we've settled into where we should be, in my opinion, which is at -116 there. if you take out the VIG, that makes Florida about 52%. I think that um, based on the baseline of that number, plus you add the Florida premium for their narratives, I think Florida at 52% is a fair price. Now, throughout the day or into tomorrow, if Florida does take money, I'd be more inclined to bet Vegas at this point. But for now, I think that with where the line opened, I think we've settled into where it should be right now. All already, and it's when you have days between games like this, the line gets efficient a lot quicker, right? So
Mhm.
I think we're already there now in terms of the line efficiency.
Fair enough. So what the number you would play Vegas at is around plus 110. Is that what you're saying then?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they open plus 111 plus
Okay.
110. That's where I held value, but if we get back there, then yeah, I would bet Vegas if I can get a plus 110 on them.
And you said 52% no vig odds was fair odds for Florida. What price would you have to play? Would Florida have to be at for you to play them? Kind of the same question, but inverse. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would need Florida down to minus 107.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, if you're if you want to bet on this game, make sure you keep your eye on the board here. Do you like any puck line or the total at all? Is that intriguing to you at all, or you think those are well priced as well?
So the total is what intrigues me here in this game, right? So we went from juice 5.5 in game one to an even bigger juice 5.5 to game two, and now we're into the sixes now, right? So
Hmm.
whenever we see that big of an adjustment, I always want to dig deeper and see if that adjustment is warranted. In this case, and I should add that a lot of times it isn't. It's just a market overreaction to what we've seen previously. But in this case, I think it is warranted. I think that that we do need to get to a six at this point. Um, I still like the under because I think that Vegas is more. I think if Vegas is controlling this series, I think that they can kind of slow this game down in game three. But my concern is Florida's depth on defense, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing it being exposed now, especially in the back end of their defense. Um, and if Gudis can't go, he's actually one of the guys who does have the ability to keep Bobrovsky's crease clean, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if he's not able to go, I do have major concerns with what Florida is going to be able to do to keep Vegas out of the front of the net, right? So um, I like the under six, but I do need Gudis in the game. I think that he does impact the game that much, right? So I would stay away for now, but if he's playing, then I would bet small on the under six.
So what price would you bet that? Right now, under six is best price on the board. Obviously, it's at Pinnacle Sportsbook, minus 105. There's a couple minus. It's hovering around minus 110 at other shops, minus 109, some other spots. So yeah, what price would you play that under six at? Are you hitting that at the minus 10 and anything below that, or you need a little bit better than the minus 110?
If Gudis is playing, I would be fine with hitting that right now up to minus 112, right?
Okay.
If he's not playing, then it's tough for me to make a case for the under.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, that's the one strength that those guys on Florida's D do have. Like they definitely lack the foot speed, but my God, did they do a really good job throughout the entire playoffs of clearing that front of the net? Both Gudis and Mark Stahl, who both, in my opinion, aren't the best,
Yeah,
but
and
they have a role.
totally. And it's not just about him in particular. It's about how that cascades
Mm-hmm.
throughout the rest of the defense as well, right? You have guys who should be playing a certain amount of minutes. Now they see their minutes increase be, because he's out, right? So I think that the that the minutes allocation gets all out of whack when if he's not able to go, and I think that's obviously to the detriment of the Panthers.
Yeah, fair enough. Moving on from there, do you have any other leans or bets for us for this game here today? Any props or anything along
I
those
do,
lines?
I do. I
Yeah.
have a
All
goal
right.
scorer prop again. Right,
Let's do
so
it. Let's do it.
So playing on the road, I don't think Cassidy is going to be able to match up the Riley Smith, William Karlsson line as much defensively against the top two Panthers lines as he would like at home. Now, in the home games, because those games kind of got out of hand, we didn't really he there was no need to have those matchups.
Mhm.
Um, but we know that he likes to match up Carlson against the top line for the opponent. So I think this will actually open up the William Carlson line more offensively on the road, and they've shown that they're more than capable um, to contribute offensively when they've been called upon. So Riley Smith, he's been generating offensively. He's fourth on the team right now in the playoffs in terms of shot attempts per 60 minutes, and he's now significantly dipped below his career shooting percentage, right? So something has to give there. He's one of those guys too that has no problem making a living in front of the net, right?
Mhm.
So this was my big thing coming into the series is that if Vegas is able to live in front of the net, Florida is going to have a lot of trouble. They haven't played a team like Vegas who can not only get to the net, but when they get there, they can finish, right? And that's why I was so high on Marchessault coming into the series, and that's exactly the reason why if the William Karlsson line is being um, is being let go offensively, like what I expect, he's the kind of guy who I think will be able to generate in front of the net. So I do like Riley Smith to get a goal. I played it at plus 325.
Plus
What's the best
310 right
number?
now is best price
Yeah,
on the board. Plus
yeah.
285. Plus two. Would you play like the plus 284 range or no? More you need it in the 300s to play it.
I would play this down to I think the 285 is fine.
Okay.
But at the 310 too, we can we can lock that in
Yeah,
for a
I'm
full unit.
gonna lock that in for a full unit right now. So that's Riley Smith, anytime goal, over 1.5, obviously, plus 310 over at Caesars Sportsbook. Any other props you like over here? Or just that?
That's
Is
it.
just Riley Smith?
That's it.
That's it.
I've actually been playing my doing a lot more goal scorer props. And Riley Smith is the one that stands out for me today.
Yeah, fair enough. And I think you forgot the most important factor here, the revenge factor, the team that literally traded him away for nothing in
There
the
you go.
expansion
Yeah.
draft. So that little bit, I'm sure that's probably going to always light a fire under his butt whenever he plays against the Florida Panthers. But I think that's it for us today. Just one bet for today, Riley Smith, anytime goal. But I just want to thank everyone for tuning in and remind everyone before we get out of here to please like this video, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that bell. So money, there it is. Smash it. Let's go. And yeah, thank you so much for jumping on today with me, So Money. And thanks for everyone for tuning in. I was filling in for Zach. I hope I had big shoes to fill, but I hope I did a good enough job. And I hope people aren't as mad as last time as I filled in. But anyways, without further ado, I just want to say thank you so much for everyone tuning in, and good luck with the rest of your bets. Have a good day, everyone.